So here is shapefit.com's website, and success stories is the place you want to go. There is Lost 150. There's a lot of different numbers. There used to be like seniors and mothers and stuff, but they must have taken that out. So I guess they're only doing it by pounds lost. But anyways, this is where you want to go. You can click on a category or just on the tab itself, and we'll scroll down and see which one we want to analyze today. 85 pounds. Faith lost 127 pounds and 134 total inches. So let's look at this one. It does have pop-up ads. So we will close that out. Okay, so Faith lost 127 pounds, 134 inches. All right, she is 53. She's married, registered nurse, lives in North Carolina, 5'7". She used to weigh 300, just about. And now, so she lost, look at all that. 100 plus. There's her before, there's her after. All right, so now let's go to the interview questions. How much did you lose? I lost 127 pounds, 16 dress sizes, and went down from 24 to a size 8. When did you become unhappy with your weight? I've been unhappy with my weight since I was in my mid to late 20s. Okay, so she had a daughter at the age of 21. I started to gain weight after I stopped nursing her. I gained about 70 pounds and my marriage deteriorated. Oh, I hope I didn't deteriorate because of that. I got a divorce and stayed depressed for being divorced and for being the fat girl that I hated. I had a beautiful daughter that kept me going. I was then on a weight roller coaster. I would lose and then gain, lose and gain even more. Okay, I bet the reason why she would lose weight and then gain even more is because she was dieting. Dieting actually makes you gain back even more weight once you come off the diet. And the reason is because your body is really smart and it loves you. And so if it senses that the calories have been reduced or that there's just not enough eating or something's going on where there's not as much food as there was before, get this ad. Oh my goodness. If the body senses that it's not getting as much food as before, it actually goes into saving your fats mode. It will hold on to your fat for dear life because those are the reserves it has for you. And it wants to keep those in case it doesn't know how long this famine, quote unquote, is going to last. And so if you stop eating or reduce your calories a lot, your body's going to hold on even more tighter to fat. If you eat consistently, if you eat mini meals, for example, every few hours, if you just put something in your body every few hours, your body senses that and it's like, okay, we have food coming in. We don't need to hold on to these fat reserves. So when you are on a diet and you're not eating, your body holds on to those fat reserves and you actually lose a lot of water. You lose a lot of maybe toxins, which is good to lose, and maybe other things. But fat is the thing that your body will hold on to. And so then once you come off the diet after having lost all that water weight and you start eating back the way you did before, you're going to gain more weight because you didn't lose any fat. The body was holding on to the fat. If you want to lose fat, you actually have to eat consistently throughout the day so that your body feels free to give up those fat reserves. It doesn't need to hold anything because it knows you have a steady stream of food coming in. Okay, I was thin and active as a teenager and was even a cheerleader. So this happens sometimes when people are thin as a kid or a teenager, and then they become overweight later in life, but that doesn't have to be how it is. The biggest thing, and I taught this as a substitute teacher. I was teaching a class of freshman girls, and I was a substitute, so I decided to teach them about health for the day, since otherwise they would just be working on just nothing really. And so I was teaching the girls about how if you want to lose weight, eat more consistently through the day. And they were just blown away by this. And if you can get those eating habits down, like the timing of when you eat and things like that, you will stay thin even into adulthood. There doesn't need to be this gaining weight into adulthood if you don't want to. What made you decide to lose weight? The pain. I not only hated the way I looked, but I hurt all the time. My back, feet, knees, and just about everywhere else. I also found a wonderful new husband that I wanted to make proud. So it's okay if your motivation is vain. It's human nature to want to look good. Um, in the wild, there's no obese animal. They always look good to each other, you know? So, like, obesity is, it's an abnormality. And the reason I wanted to lose weight was partially because I wanted to look good, but I was bloated a lot and I just did not feel good. And you actually probably don't feel good if you don't, because your body is not in an alkaline state. Your pH level is off. Most people who don't drink water or eat raw fruits and vegetables, their pH level is off because those are the only alkaline things that you can eat is raw fruits and vegetables and water. There might be something else, like some random thing, but if you cook anything, then those enzymes get heated away. They get burned. What's the word? I don't know what the word is, but it kills them. The heat kills the enzymes that make the alkalinity. Anything cooked turns acidic. Anything with sugar is acidic. Like almost everything is acidic except for water, which is pH of 7 or so. And so if you are eating acidic foods, if you're eating a lot of cooked foods, a lot of sugary foods, you're going to feel bad because your body is in an acidic state. And by the way, cancer breeds in acidic states, just to let you know why there's so much cancer, where there wasn't so much before. And then once you start eating raw fruits and vegetables, which you don't have to make that your whole thing, but once you what's the word? Like when you are getting used to drinking alcohol, an acquired taste, if you've never just snacked on raw fruits and vegetables, it is kind of an acquired taste. It's like an earthy taste. But once you start getting that in your body, or like if you do juicing, and once you start drinking water, you will feel the difference. You will feel so good in your body. And so when she's saying the pain, it is. You can be bloated. You can be lethargic. You can have stomach aches if you have an acidic environment in your body, if you're not ever in an alkaline state. And I feel like people are going to get offended by the fact that I said the only alkaline things you can put in your body are not that you can put in your body, but the main foods that are alkaline just naturally are raw fruits and vegetables and water. Everything else, meat, nuts, bread, white sugar, white flour, anything cooked, it all turns acidic, which is okay. It's okay to eat cooked foods and cookies. I love cookies, but you do want to make sure that you're drinking enough water and raw fruits and vegetables, because you actually, once you start having your body be in an alkaline state, you will not want to go back. You will feel so good. Okay, so here's her before. Here's her after. She looks good for her 50s. Go you. What were the most important changes you made to lose weight? I had the gastric sleeve surgery. No. Oh, no. Oh, okay. I do not recommend doing surgery because it's kind of a shortcut. Let's read and see what she says. My depression and roller coaster weight loss did not allow me to keep the weight off or lose any pounds. Okay, well, she didn't fix the root problem, but you know what? If she must have, it will say how long she's been able to keep it off here in a little bit. Okay, she was having depression and roller coaster weight loss for a reason. One way to fix this is food journaling. Oh my goodness, when I started food journaling, I was so shocked it's just shocking. It opens your eyes so much. But you start to see food as an inanimate object when you write down what you're eating. It stops becoming this like thing that's more than just objects. And most people see food as objects, but if you have depression and you're emotionally eating, or a lot of times it's out of boredom. That's how, when I used to eat, I would not eat all day. I would get home from school and I would eat, this literally happened once. I ate a whole box of Girl Scout cookies, and that's what would happen. I would come home and I would veg out pizza rolls, bagel bites, Girl Scout cookies, cereal, just the most random food and watched SpongeBob SquarePants, which, hey, for a 16-year-old, it's actually a funny TV show. But and yeah, a lot of it had to do with just I felt relieved from being out of school, so I wanted something to match that relief. And a lot of times when you eat, there's certain it feels good, and so that's an emotional eating for to match the relief that you feel. That's why we eat at celebrations and stuff. So it's okay. But when you keep a food journal and write down what you're actually eating, it's so much easier to disassociate food from emotions. I'm kind of disappointed that she got the surgery, but let's see what she says. After tearing my meniscus, I had to do something to regain my activity level. Oh, gosh, just a bunch of stuff happened to her. I was withdrawn, sad, depressed, and did not feel desired by my husband, her old husband, right? I was dying. I had to get my life back. The life back and the life back in me. What was the most challenging thing you had to deal with during your weight loss journey? I'm going to come back to this surgery thing in a second because I have words. What was the most challenging thing you had to deal with during your weight loss journey? Well, the challenge was the food that I liked, I no longer desired. Oh, is this because of what I just said? Like once you start eating good food, you won't go back because it feels so good. I felt like I was not the same person. The portions at first did not affect me at all, but then there were times when I wanted to eat something that I really liked but could not. Oh, wait, what's going on? The challenge was the food that I liked, I no longer desired. She's saying that funny. So I think she's basically saying, yeah, this is it. When you diet, you stop eating foods that you like. You can't do that. Think about wild animals. They eat what they love. Squirrels love nuts, and that's what they try to eat. Cougars love deer. Cougars aren't just sitting around snacking on carrots. They love meats. There's actually an amino acid in animal flesh that cats need or they'll go blind. But so yeah, okay. So you can't restrict the food you love. You got to do something else. You have to be able to eat the food you love, or it's not going to last. What I do is the 80-20 rule. 80% of the time I will eat clean. 20% of the time I'll let myself have whatever the heck I want, which sounds like a small percentage, but that's 1/5 of your day. You can eat whatever you want. It's actually a lot. But don't restrict yourself. That's why diets don't work. Before the surgery, I loved drinking water. Oh no! Now that is the hardest thing to get down. Ooh, this is a consequence of surgery. I'm going to talk about surgery here in a second. I never drank soda, but now I wanted Coke and Mellow Yellow. What's going on? This is a weird one. This is weird. It's like things went backwards. Yes, it's weird. Salad used to be my staple food. I kind of don't believe that. Because she would not be overweight if she drank a lot of water and ate a lot of salads. Maybe she's talking about like when she was trying to lose weight and then before she decided to get the surgery. It can't be before she was trying to lose weight because she wouldn't need to lose weight. Okay, salad used to be my staple food and now it's hard for me to even tolerate it. That's kind of sad. For some reason, crunchy things like toast, crackers, cookies settle on my tummy very well, so that is my biggest challenge. That's weird. How long did it take you to start to see results? Okay, from June to December, I lost 72 pounds. June, July, August, September, October, November, December, 6 months. Okay, that's kind of a good rate. Oh gosh, let's do math. 72 divided by 6. So about 11 pounds. 11 pounds divided by 4. Okay, so about 2.5 pounds a week. Okay, so the thing is, you only need to lose 1 to 2 pounds a week. If you lose anything more than that, it is water weight. That's why crash diets don't work because you lose just water weight. You have a ton of water in your body. You're 70% water, so you can lose a lot of water and lose a lot of weight, and it'll trick you because you think you're actually losing fat and you're not. Okay, so she lost about 2.5 pounds a week for 6 months. Good, that's a good pace. Then from December to April, I lost the rest of the weight. December, January, February, March, April. Wait a minute, she lost 137, so about 140. 100, 10, 20, 30, 40. She lost 70 pounds then. 70 pounds then for the last 4 months. So she was losing 2.5, and then it went to 4 pounds a week. So that's a little unhealthy. She did this a little unhealthily. She was starting out good, and then She might have got impatient because what you'll notice is she decided to get surgery, and she did something where she was trying to, I don't know what I'm saying. How long did it take for you to reach your current weight? It took me 10 months. 10 months? She lost, 130. Okay, 130 over the course of 10 months. Okay, whatever. It's like 12 a month or something. Did you have any issues with loose skin after losing the weight? Yes, I had 10 pounds of loose skin that I had removed. I have loose skin on my thighs. I want gone desperately. See, she's a little desperate. I understand being desperate to lose weight. I had a family member who was desperate to lose weight, and she started going to the gym every day for 2 hours. And that's rushing things. You gotta go really slow. Yeah, there's this quote that's like, however long it took you to gain the weight, you have to at least have that equal amount of time to lose the weight. So if it took you years to put the weight on, you got to give yourself, and people don't like to hear that, but it's not like it's going to take years to see results. Actually, you can see results within the first 6 months like she did. And if it's a pretty drastic change, like if you never move at all and then you start walking, that's actually the true story of someone's weight loss success story that I read. She never moved, and then she just started to go on a 20-minute walk every day, nice and slow. And then she ate Wendy's twice a day, and she stopped doing that. And then so those were two big extreme things, and she lost so much weight within 6 months. But then it still requires you to still go slow, even for years, and you'll find yourself being able to do a lot more after a long time. So for example, I started walking when I was 17. I walked for 3 years. Then I started jogging, and I jogged for probably 5 years. And then I started juicing. In between that time I was working on eating clean and getting enough water, but then I started juicing, then I started weightlifting. So even over 10 years, you're going to see results rather quickly. Like if you start walking and start drinking water, and then you'll continue to see results, but you have to go slow. You got to not be desperate. How long have you maintained your weight loss, and what are the most important factors for keeping it off? It will be 3 years in June. Okay, so she's kept it off for 3 years even after the surgery. So that's good. I stay active by walking, and I just keep moving. Stay away from sugar. It is a demon. Yeah, sugar's bad. Sugar is the culprit of all weight gain. People didn't used to become obese until after the 1900s when the sugar cane and artificial sugar, added sugars came into food. That's when people started to gain weight. Sugar is acidic. Sugar has no nutrients in it. Sugar is in everything. They put sugar in ketchup and cereal, in frozen dinners, in lunch meat. Okay, eat protein before any starch. I've never heard that before. Eat protein before any starch. I have kind of a gross fact. If you're eating meat and fruit together, and that's all you're going to be eating, eat the fruit first, because fruit digests very quickly, and then the meat can sit in there and digest. It takes several hours. If you eat the meat first, the meat takes a long time to digest, and the fruit will digest faster on top of the meat instead of going down into the intestines, and it will actually ferment and make you belch, and it will, anyways, it's gross. If you're going to eat protein, if you're going to eat meat and fruit, eat the fruit first. Okay, eat protein before any starch. Do not drink water 30 minutes before or 30 minutes after you eat. Okay, that's not what I do. I drink water. I guzzle water in my meals. If you want something sweet, then just try to eat a small amount. Yeah, actually, a good trick is if you want something sweet, eat fruit first until the sweet craving goes away, and then treat yourself with what it is, and you'll find yourself naturally just eating not as much. If you eat artificial sugar, it's temporary, and you need to feed the craving. Yeah, you got to feed the craving with what your body is actually sending you the craving for, which is sugar that's found in fruit, because it's trying to get you to eat the fruit because it needs certain vitamins. That was a mouthful, but in other words, artificial sugar, you're going to get hungry later on. If you eat fruit, it's going to fix that sugar craving and keep you full, and then you can treat yourself to the pastry after you eat fruit. It's a really good trick. Plan what you are going to eat and keep high protein snacks and shakes available for those hunger attacks because you'll get them. Yeah. Always have healthy food on you. Always have a water bottle on you as well. You'll notice then people always have water on them. And then if you always have something healthy within reach, that way, like I've had it before where a hunger attack will happen and I don't have any food on me and I'll go to the McDonald's. So it's good to keep stuff on you. What keeps you motivated to continue your weight loss success? My confidence. The other very motivating thing is when my husband is caught staring at me on the sofa and I look at him and say, "What are you looking at?" He responds with, "The most beautiful woman I've ever seen." Girl, that's because he loves you. That's because he loves you. How has your life changed now that you have lost weight? It's changed tremendously. My self-confidence is awesome. Yeah, that does happen. Your confidence with, at least for me, this is not going to cure happiness though. If you become thin, just to let you know, if you're not happy before you lose weight, it's not going to permanently make you happy. If you're insecure with who you are as a person, that's a deep-rooted issue. But you do get confidence like with wearing clothes and stuff. I'm not afraid to go out thinking people are pointing and talking about me. Oh, that's sad. My daughter looks just like me and she is proud when people say that. I feel I am respected more for my capabilities instead of people thinking I was fat and lazy. I've never been, I was a little overweight in high school and I felt horrible. I was always bloated, but okay, this is true. You actually do get pretty privilege. You are treated a certain way. You'll get a lot more attention. Well, I don't know. It all depends because if you're insecure and you treat people bad, it doesn't matter how pretty you are. Have you ever met someone who's pretty and they were just horrible person and they weren't pretty anymore? But okay. I am a medical professional and people acted like I was just a fat glob or a couch potato. Well, yeah, if you're in the if you're in the medical profession, you have to like practice what you preach. I speak out, I attend meetings and volunteer. I love my life. Okay, you know what? If she thinks that she's a fat glob, she's gonna project that. Or maybe she'll just think other people think the same thing. It's really important to change the way you think about yourself and your mindset and pray and get God on your side while you're doing this and have a vision for yourself and say good things about your body and change your mindset so that you love your inner person. Because maybe people didn't think that about her. She just thought that about herself and thought other people thought that too. Do you have any advice for others who are trying to lose weight? You are never too old to make changes. This is true. You are never too fat. This is true. It takes support most of all. You need people to tell you, keep it up and that you are doing great. Make small goals at a time and reach them. Okay, one thing about this, I never made goals, but one thing is I did get frustrated and I just had to push through the frustration. The frustration of trying to figure out what would work, the frustration of like when I first started drinking water does kind of bloat you a little bit if you're not used to it. And so just learning how to manage that. And then the bloating goes away once you get used to drinking water. But like if you start eating raw fruits and vegetables, they have a lot of fiber. And if you look at iron, if you look at fiber close up, it looks like little knives. And that's what it does to your digestive system is it's ripping out the toxins in your intestines. And it kind of is a little painful at first when you start eating raw fruits and vegetables. So there is some frustrating things that you have to push through the trial and error and figuring out what works for you. Like for example, I wanted to weightlift, but I would get so bored. And so now I've discovered I can only weightlift if I'm watching something most of the time. And yeah, it just takes a while to learn what works for you. I'm actually not a goal person. I want to learn how to be a goal person. I've tried before. But anyways, so if you are a goal person, it's probably good to make them. Making big goals usually leads to disappointment. That's my problem. I always try to make like the biggest goals. Okay, so you know what? I am learning this for myself. I'm going to start making small goals because I usually try to make really big goals. Making big goals usually leads to disappointment and you get off track, which causes failure. Start the same day. Okay, so this is actually the same as your pace. You want your pace to be really, really slow. You will have burnout if you go too fast. And it's really kind of, if you find something that you really like to do, it's easy to go at a slow pace. So I would go on walks and listen to music and watch the sunset. And it was just amazingly beautiful. And I started my walks that way. And so it became really easy. I used to look forward to it. And so that's kind of a small thing to start doing, but it was so fun that I didn't burn out. Start the same day you have decided to make a change. Do not wait until the weekend or until Monday to begin. Start today. And start slow. Just start going on walks with music or something. Okay, so if you want to read the rest of this, she has some weight loss tips. You can go to shapefit.com. Make up your mind, get mad at your fat. Her eating plan, her workouts. And yeah, so you see, she looks really good. Good for you. Good job. Okay, so the biggest takeaways from this, I would say, is drinking water will definitely help you lose weight. And I think she said that she used to drink a lot of water, but like most people, they think that they do, but they really don't. I don't think she really drank that much water. One of my family members, I asked them how much water they drank, and they said, oh gosh, like 3 or 4 glasses a day. But then I tracked them, and it was half a glass or something, and then like 3, 4 cups of coffee a day. And then my other, one of my siblings, she's like, oh, I drink enough water. And she doesn't. I know she doesn't. So drinking enough water means a gallon a day, especially if you're active. But since we are humans and not out in the wild, we have other beverages we can choose from. So I would say half a gallon of water, half a gallon of whatever other beverage you like. But you really actually do need to drink a lot of water. Something else, let's see, what else stood out to me? Food journaling is good. That's a good color on her. Color analysis really helps you look better too. I always thought I was a cool toned, but then I read somewhere that you can't have red hair and be cool toned. And so I started to look at myself in greens and yellows and oranges, which I've never worn. Like, I stay away from those colors because I think I'm cool toned. And oh my gosh, I look so much better. Okay. Yeah, sugar, that's a big one. Hers was kind of weird. So hers was weird because she started off really strong, but then I feel like she got desperate and a little impatient and she got surgery. You do not need surgery at all. What you need is patience. Your body will naturally let you know when it can start doing more. Like your muscles. When I was walking, it was so easy for me after a few years to start jogging. It was like nothing. Whereas I started walking because I tried jogging at first and couldn't do it. I was so out of breath and so out of shape. And so I was just like, well, I'm just going to walk then. And walking became so fun. But after a few years, my heart and lungs and muscles were all developed. And so it was easy. And so you want to go the easy route and just build yourself up and read these success stories on shapefit.com. I'm not affiliated. I don't get paid for this or anything. They just have really good interview questions like this. But hers was a little weird. I do not at all recommend surgery. It's so easy to lose weight if you just change your eating habits and go from eating 1 or 2 big meals to several small meals a day. That's how your metabolism stays high. It's like a wood log fire. You need to just be adding logs to the fire for it to keep burning. So you add food to your body to keep your metabolism burning high. And I mean, you get a break every night for 8 hours. It's not like it's super hard on your system or anything. But yeah, I feel like she was doing really good and she probably didn't need the surgery. But I'm happy for her. She looks happy. Okay, so that is this weight loss success story analysis. And shapefit.com, her name is Faith. And leave me any questions you have. I'm thinking about doing an email coaching type thing where I answer people's questions through email. And yeah, thank you for watching.